Okay, you should be able to see the screen at the back and just listen along to what's going on. Hey, thanks for coming out. This is our Mega Sports Camp 2024 volunteer meeting. Are you guys excited for Mega Sports Camp? Mega Sports Camp. Hey, should we sing this song right now? No, we'll wait. We'll wait. Okay. Hey, so 1 week from Tuesday, about 160 children are going to get dropped off at Lakeshore Park, ready for an amazing 4 mornings of learning sports, hearing some fun sports stories, Bible stories about Jesus, and they're going to, we pray, experience the love, hope, and message of Jesus through us as we love them and care for them well. There'll be times where it'll be a little bit stressful. There's going to be times where it's going to be amazing, and we're just praying that through everything that happens, that Jesus will be glorified, and the kids will have a great time, and that you and the kids will be safe. And so today we want to just talk a little bit about that. So the point of Mega Sports Camp is we want kids to learn skills, have some fun, and experience the love of Jesus. Let me just talk a bit about Mega Sports Camp. How many of you have volunteered before at Mega Sports Camp? Let's see some hands. Okay, lots of you. How many of you, this will be your first time volunteering at Mega Sports Camp? Wow, lots of hands too. So thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for all of you who are stepping up and serving. I'm so thankful for every one of you. And so here's the kind of the lowdown on what happens at Sports Camp. So Mega Sports Camp will start on Tuesday, August the 6th. It runs from 9 a.m. until noon each day. We have a barbecue with the parents on the final day, so that's always fun to have the parents hanging out. And every day, kids are going to do a couple of sports sessions. So it could be soccer, baseball. It could be cheerleading and multi-sport. So last year it was cheer and beach volleyball. This year it's cheer and multi-sport. So during that multi-sport time, they'll do something different every day. Or it could be sport mix if their age is JK or SK. So those are kind of the main sport combinations. And the morning is basically split into a bunch of fairly equal, about 20 to 25 minute blocks. So every 20 to 25 minutes, you'll hear, if you're at a sport, you'll hear a loud siren ring. So I've got kind of a bullhorn siren that I play a loud noise on. And when you hear that, oh, it's time to go to the next thing. If you're in a rally time, it'll just end and we'll dismiss you and tell you where to go. But that loud siren is kind of the other thing that we use to tell you, hey, it's time to go to your next session. Every day, the kids are going to experience an opening rally, 25 minutes playing each sport, a halftime rally, and then a closing rally. Like I said, they'll hear a sports story and a Bible story. So some of the ways that you're going to help us, we're going to touch on that in just a moment. But the first thing I want to just say is this. Every one of you here, you are coaches this week. Everyone say, hey, coach. Hey, coach. Look at someone near you and point to them and say, hey, coach. Hey, coach. Okay, every one of you is a coach this week. All right, and we're all coaches because we're all coming alongside of kids and we're loving them and caring for them and helping to point them in the direction to go. And hopefully we're modeling well that we just want them to know and experience that they are welcome and loved. There's a verse in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 18. Listen to what Jesus says. I forgot to have my Bible here. But in this passage, it's a passage where the disciples are shooing the kids away. And Jesus says, no, let the children come to me. I want them near. And something that you see all through the life of Jesus and in some of these specific moments is that he loves and he welcomes children. And he invites them to come near. And that's what we want to do. We want to come alongside of kids and say, we love you. We're going to demonstrate and show the love of Jesus and pray that they will experience his love in a really powerful way. Here's a few little shots from Mega Sports Camp last year. There's our volunteer team last year. Maybe you can spot yourself if you were here. Here's a glimpse of some awesome baseball action going on. Here's one of our song rallies, right here in the sanctuary, pumping up the name of Jesus. And there's me and Steph, crushing it one day. I think she sent me that picture actually after sports camp ended. So just a few glimpses of sports camp last year. And here's our location for this year. So how many of you have ever been to Lakeshore Park? Okay. How many of you have no idea where Lakeshore Park is? Okay, a bunch of you. So basically, if you head out the church parking lot out onto Old Lake Shore Road here and you turn right, you just head about 1 mile, 1.6K down the road, and you will come to a spot where on the left it's Lamrecton Park. Used to be a Bible camp there back in the day. There's a park and a pavilion there. And on the right side at that same spot is Lakeshore Park. There's a couple of beach volleyball courts, a baseball diamond, some soccer fields. There's a pavilion, there's a washroom there. Right now there's a fry truck there actually as well, which apparently is going to be there during the week while we're doing our camp. So that's a picture of it there. This is where Mega Sports Camp 2024 is happening. And so every morning, the parents are going to be coming and entering into this parking lot. On the first day, they'll park. They'll head to that little pavilion there, and they'll do check-in with our registration team. They'll connect with their huddle coaches and get the day started. For the rest of the week, the parents are going to come, and we're going to have a bit of a drive-through system set up where they'll come in, just like we did last year if you were here, where the parents come and they come to a drop-off area. We help the kids get out and get them connected with their huddle teams, and then the parents keep on driving. So that's the way we do drop-off. And then for checkout at the end of the morning, the parents will park, and they'll come and find you at your group tree where your team is. And they'll come and get their kids at the end of the morning. So I've actually got a little map here. So this is an overhead view of Lakeshore Park. And can someone grab me? There's a pointer. Actually, maybe Troy's got it. Maybe it's here, actually. Was Troy using it during the service? Yeah. The little pointer thingy-majigger. It might have been put away. But if you can grab it, that's great. Or no? Oh, must be up here? Just so I can point at some spots on the screen. Pastor, did you use it this morning?
Yes.
If I don't have it, it's not a big deal. I just thought if it's around, I will grab it. But what I'll just do here, so you'll see this is the overhead view. So right here is the parking lot that I mentioned. And actually over here at Lamrecton Park, so this is important to just know that in the mornings when you come, if you're driving a vehicle, I'm going to ask you, you're going to head over to Lamrecton Park and you're going to park in the parking lot over here and then walk across the road. Because obviously if we fill up this parking lot with our vehicles, we won't have room for the parents. So when you come each morning, if you're getting dropped off, awesome. You'll just get dropped off and walk in, or come in here. And but if you're parking a vehicle, head into Lamrecton Park. And just find a spot in the parking lot there to park. This is a little bit of a zoom in, just so you can kind of see where some of the areas are. So essentially, where the craft pavilion is, right up there where it says craft, that's where we're going to meet in the mornings to start off, and we'll have our volunteer meeting. So we'll meet there each morning, have our volunteer meeting. And how many of you here are huddle coaches? Okay, see some hands there. A bunch of you are huddle coaches. You'll notice there's a bunch of trees. So in the past, we had tents or stakes and spots in the ground around the property where your huddle group met. This year there is just the right number of trees that you each get your own tree. So which is kind of nice because the tree is a shady spot, and it's a spot that will kind of be your home base for the morning. So as kids come and they get dropped off, they're going to come and connect with you at your tree. And what you'll find is that we're going to put so it'll say Team 1 and the big sign on one of the trees, Team 2, Team 3, all the way up to Team 10. So whatever team number you are, huddle coach and huddle coach helper, you're going to be hanging out at that tree just waiting for your team to arrive each morning. And let me see. Oh, there we go. Got it. So there's trees here, here, here. You see all these little blobs. Those are all trees. And they're all basically kind of around this area right in here. So those are the trees that we're going to be using, and those will be your main areas that you will start your day out of and have your huddle times in. There's a number of different roles that some of you have. So some of you are huddle coaches. Huddle coaches, you're going to be leading a group of about 15 kids. Once again, you'll check them in at the start of the day, and basically you're going to be with these kids all through the morning. So your role is to keep track of them, to love them, to lead them. Okay, hey, we're off to rally time. Let's go, guys. And as long as you keep track of them well and love them well and keep them safe, you're doing an awesome job. And so when you're at the sports sessions, don't worry, the sport coaches are going to take the lead. They're going to be the ones giving direction. At the rally times, the rally coaches will be giving leadership. So, the only time where you are kind of directly going to be leading a time will be during the huddle time. So when we do our snack time in the morning, that's when you'll be at your tree, you'll be having snacks together, and you'll just lead in a really short little devotional that's been planned ahead of time for you in your huddle guide. So I've got a guide for every one of you huddle coaches. You're going to go home with it this morning, this afternoon. And it's got some tips for you, some words of direction about what being a huddle coach is all about. And then it's going to have some guidance there for those huddle times during the snack sessions and for how you can give leadership during that time. So those are huddle coaches and huddle coach helpers. So the helpers, your role is to basically just work alongside of the lead coach, helping the kids out as they participate in activities. If it's craft time, doing the crafts with the kids. If you're at sports, you're encouraging them and cheering them on, helping the sport coach in any way that you can. In rally times, you help out by just participating and encouraging them to take part too. Something that I've noticed occasionally, we'll be at sports camp and rallies will be happening and kids will be singing songs. And then I'll see, some of the coaches just on the side, just sitting, they're just talking to each other, or they're just, they're just not focused, right? So I want to really encourage you during these, 3 hours each day, just really set your focus on loving the kids, having fun with them, modeling for them an enthusiasm about the songs and the sports and the things that are going on. The more that you are all in and just have a smile and are having fun, the more that it's going to be a life-giving, awesome, and encouraging time for the kids. But if they see that you're basically checked out or you're just there to socialize with your friends, okay, Rick, I'll be watching you, okay? By the way, everybody, it's Rick Sauve's birthday today! Da, 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 da. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rick. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Good job. You're finally 30. We'll leave it there. You're 30. All right. Okay, so that's huddle coaches, huddle coach helpers. We've also got some sport coaches. So the sport coaches are giving primary leadership and direction to the sport times. And the helpers, you're going to assist your sport coach in whatever ways that they need you to help out. So my summer students have been working hard putting together the sport coach plans. So sport coaches, afterwards, when the meeting's over, make sure you connect with myself, Evan, McKinley. We'll chat with you a bit more about your specific plan for coaching so that you can get that now and start to look at it and prepare ahead of time. Some of you may also be here and you're part of the craft team. Let me see my craft team, folks. Awesome, I heard it. I heard the passion over here, okay, and spread out here and there. So craft team, you're going to be helping during the craft time. Every day, every team will come through the craft tent at some point. And so you're going to be doing the crafts with them. Paula is going to be connecting with our students this week to get the download on the crafts, but there's things that are pre-prepared and will be ready to go. And then there will be some active parts where you're helping them finish and complete and put their craft together. So just coming alongside of them and helping them with that. But also, craft team, you're going to help in a couple of other ways as well. I'm going to be asking you at the start of the day to be with us in the parking lot. So as parents are coming and dropping off their kids, you're going to be just part of that team of people that just welcome kids, help them to get out of their car, and then just direct them and lead them over to their area where their huddle group is. So that'll be one little extra way you'll be helping this year. And also during our snack time. So we do have 3 tents that are going to be set up. The town of Clinton, Wyoming would only let us set up 3 tents, and they have to be a specific size and a specific distance apart from each other. So our 3 tents that we're allowed to set up are right here. So one of these is a cheer tent. So that's where cheerleading will be happening. One is going to be a first aid tent, and that's where if there's any medical emergency, you're going to run over here and find our first aid attendant. So on day 1, it's Brian Wigboldus, He will be hanging out in there. And then for the rest of the week, it is Aaron DeMello. So Aaron will be here Wednesday through Friday in that tent as our first aid person. So huddle coach, you'll all get a little pack of Band-Aids. So if there's just a little a little scrape or whatever, and you'll have some Band-Aids to deal with those just minor little things. But anything beyond a scrape, you'll want to send for, have one of your huddle coaches go and get the first aid attendant, or just take them over there depending on the severity of what's going on. And then here is our snack tent. So craft team, notice you're located here. When it comes to snack time, on some of the days I will have you guys just helping to make sure that the snacks are all portioned out, ready to go. They'll be in containers. We're going to have specific containers. You'll have the right number of snacks for every team, just laid out on the tables there. This year we've gone with all kind of pre-packaged. It'll all be super easy to distribute snacks. So things that don't require a lot of preparation ahead of time, they'll just be ready to go. So all that you'll be doing, craft team, is just making sure that they are all there and stacked up and ready to go for the huddle coaches when they come and pick them up. And on one or two of the days, we may even just give the huddle coaches the snacks right at the start of the day, so you've just got them. You don't have to send anyone running to get them. So that is our snack team / crafts team. And then also our security and perimeter monitors. Do we have any of those guys here today? So if you're on security, perimeter monitoring, or setup team, all right, so we're going to have some guys that I have, guys or gals, that are just set up at a few kind of strategic points around, especially along here and here. We just want to make sure that kids aren't wandering off and that people aren't wandering in and just like, hey, I'm going to play soccer with the kids too. And so it's a little bit unique this year in that we're not on our property. We are on public property, so we can't just like say to mom and her kids, no, you can't go play at the playground. Like there's a playground right there. So, but at the same time, we've got to just keep track of people who do come in that aren't a part of the camp. We're going to want to connect with them. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, there's a sports camp going on here. Hey, you want to play on the playground with your girls? That is awesome. Have fun. Just be aware that we're here and there's a program going on, that kind of stuff. So I can talk to you more about that for specifics, but basically just that understanding that this is a public space, but we want to make sure we keep it a safe space. So, you know, if there's just people who are kind of wandering around and it's not clear what they're up to, then your role will be kind of to, you know, just come alongside. Hey, how's it going? What are you up to today? And just keep track of who's coming and going to make sure that no kids are wandering off. Any questions so far? I know I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but hopefully you're catching all the good little nuts and bolts. Shirley?
I was just wondering, on the sheet, I remember seeing for allergies, there was it gluten and something else, but there was nothing for peanut, but I assume none of the snacks will have.
Yeah, none of the snacks will have peanuts, and there's one day where there's a dairy, like we're going to have frozen yogurt tubes, but we'll have a dairy-free option on that day. And there's one day where there will be, I'm just going to give the coaches bags of cookies. So instead of pre-packaging every little Ziploc bag, you'll just get a couple of bags of cookies, and here you go, kids. But there'll be a gluten-free option. So we'll always have gluten-free and dairy-free, and nothing has nuts in it. Yeah, good question. Carolyn?
Is there a water station?
There will be a water station. So we'll have 2 or 3 of our big orange jugs that will be set up right near the craft area. Possibly one here. I'll have to decide the exact locations, but for sure there'll be one near the craft station and washrooms. We'll have 2 or 3 water refill stations set up. Now, last year, we actually provided a water bottle for every kid. This year, we're not doing that. So we're just asking kids to bring their own water bottles and hats. And I've sent an email already to all the parents just outlining, hey, here's the things to bring, here's the things to not bring, and really emphasizing, have your kids wear a hat, sunscreen if you would like that, because they will be, outside a lot for those 3 hours. Besides the times. Now we did set up, you'll notice over here, so this is our rally zone. So if they're going to soccer, this is the soccer area. If they're going to the water zone, that's the last day, we're gonna do some water stuff, it's up here. Just zeroing out a bit, so you'll see this is the multi-sport area. So if you're a coach of cheer and multi-sports, you go here for cheer, you go here for your multi-sport time. And then baseball is this whole general area here. So we'll be using, yes, the actual diamond. but then also the grass area for some of the time. But we chose this spot way over here for our rally zone because there are trees here. We went there in the morning and we checked it out. And with our wagon, so we're going to bring our hay wagon over that we use for, the Canada Day floats, etc. That's going to be our rally stage, where we'll be singing our songs and playing our music and teaching our sports stories and our Bible stories. But it should have enough space that's shaded as well that kids can sit and get a break from the sun. So that's why we kind of chose that particular area. So that'll be the rally times are all right over here. So yeah, so if you're a sport mix coach, that's where you go for sport mix. Beach volleyball on the multi-sport volleyball day is here. Baseball, soccer, we've got, you see there's nets here, there's nets set up throughout. We actually purchased actual nets, like to attach to the posts so that they'll have, real nets to shoot at. It won't just be empty space. So that'll be kind of fun. And I'm connecting with all of these neighbors as well this week, just to let them know, hey, guess what? There'll be 160 kids here running around. We love you. I want them to be aware of what to expect this coming week. All right, so that's a few little pieces there. I want to just talk for a moment about, also a couple of other team members I should make mention of is our bathroom team. So there's a few of you who are helping specifically with taking kids to the washroom. So that is awesome. Thank you for doing that, because guess what? Little kids' bladders, for some reason, seem to need to be emptied very regularly. And so I've got several adults that are going to be helping as part of our bathroom team. So when you do take kids to the washroom, just one note. So this is going to be our designated washroom for all the kids. All right, so there's a women's washroom on this side. There's a boys' washroom on that side. All right, so you're going to want to just take them. Always take more than one kid at a time. Take at least 2 kids at a time, and you're going to head over here. Leaders, if you need to use the washroom, guess what? You get to go up here. So up here, we need to have a separate washroom for the leaders that's separate from the one that the kids are using. So normally at the church, we designate one of the side washrooms for that. But here, there is a porta potty. Now, I checked it out. It's clean and it's well maintained. But leaders, if you need to use the washroom, it sits right about there. All right, so leaders, if you need to use the washroom, you're going to head there. But when you're taking kids to the washroom, that is the spot right there. So just a note, if you're taking kids to the washroom, so this will be not only our bathroom team designated people, but some of the helpers on teams 7 through 10, you will also be taking some kids to the washroom. And so just a few reminders about washroom visits. Make sure when you take kids to the washroom that you stay outside of the washroom door. Don't go inside the door with the kids. There are 2 stalls in each bathroom. So the guys' washroom has a urinal and a stall. And on the girls' side, it has 2 stalls. All right, so just let 2 kids go in at a time. Now if there's an emergency or the child really needs help for some reason, make sure you've got another leader of the same gender as the child that they can go inside, but then have another leader at the door that's observing. So there's always that accountability. If I can't get my zipper done up or whatever it might be, just that they need help, just make sure there's another leader nearby that's also in clear view, so that there's accountability for what's happening in those moments. So never be alone with a child behind a closed door or anywhere that can't be seen by others. Okay, so that's a really important key kind of plan to protect, guiding thing that you need to just keep in mind all throughout our Mega Sports Camp. All right. I want to just move ahead just to talk briefly about our theme. So our theme for this week is Blaze a Trail. Let me hear it. Blaze a trail. Blaze a trail. Blaze a trail. Blaze a trail. There you go. There's a verse, we want to invite kids. We're inviting them on an adventure. It's an adventure of serving Jesus. It's an adventure that is exciting. Serving Jesus is not some dull, boring, now I'm following a bunch of rules and life is, what a drag. No, it is full life in Christ. And we want to invite them to really blaze a trail on this adventure and join in with us. And so the key theme verse for the week is from John 14:6, and you'll see it there at the top. I am the way, the truth, the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Those are the words of Jesus. And every day during the week, we're going to draw out some different themes that all connect back to this verse. So you'll see that throughout the week, we're going to highlight these things. Okay, so the theme of preparation. Jesus gives me everything I need. And this is what our Bible story is going to be. John the Baptist prepares the way for Jesus. The second day is commit. Jesus wants me to be all in. And Jesus and the rich man is the story. Then it's endure. Jesus helps me overcome. Then it's follow the leader. Jesus shows me the way. And you'll see the Bible stories connected to these. And then there's a sports story as well. So that's kind of the flow through the week. We're introducing kids to the life-changing power of Jesus in their lives. Okay, that he can provide for their deepest needs. That he invites them to be all in. That he can help them to overcome. That he can show them the way when they're struggling and when they're not sure what's next. And then on day 5, so you know there's only 4 days of Mega Sports Camp. Okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Day 5 happens on Sunday. So on Sunday, we invite the parents to come here for our closing rally, which will be outdoors at the front. Here we're going to sing songs that we did all week, and then we'll do our final day, Make Your Mark. Jesus helps me to show others the way. So at that closing rally, we'll kind of do a review. Hey, here's what we've been learning all week. And then they'll hear that day's sports story and Bible story as well. So that's kind of the shape of what's going to be happening in the teaching times and the rallies. And huddle coaches, just a reminder that your huddle guide will give you a little snippet each day for what you'll share during the snack time, and it'll build on what's been shared in the rally that you've just been to. So that'll be super exciting. Okay, any just further questions on anything to do with the map and the overview and all that kind of stuff? Yeah.
How are they finding out what team they're on? Like when we're greeting them in the parking lot?
Yeah, so what's going to happen is on the very first day, the parents are going to park and they're going to head over to the craft gazebo there, and they're going to do an actual check-in. So on the very first day, parents will park, walk over here, we'll have areas set up, 3 different lines, and then they'll check in, find out what team they're on, and then the helpers, you guys, you'll show them, walk the way over to their tent to meet their huddle coaches. So that's how they'll find out. Now the rest of the week they'll just drop off and they'll know the way because they've been there, have been there before. Any other questions? Yeah, Connie?
I just wondered about the bathroom
Yeah.
people. I wondered, are they going to be floating around sort of to the different groups?
Yeah, so I've got 2 adults designated to just be with teams 1 to 3, and then I've got 2 adults designated to be with teams 4 through 6. So basically they're going to just hang out with those teams, follow them around, and you'll know who they are. In fact, I'll tell you that. I'm going to kind of go through the volunteer list in a moment, and just to kind of highlight, hey, just so you know, here's what your role is, here's where I've got you assigned. But then for teams 7 through 10, I've tried to give those teams extra helpers so that you've got an extra helpers that can help with just taking the kids to the washroom. So that's how I've kind of set that up. Yeah, Tracy?
I don't know if I missed something, but what time is the volunteer meeting in the mornings?
Yeah, so let me just go over the daily, I've got a sample daily schedule here. So here's an example. All of your schedules will look something like this. All right, so here's an example of how the morning goes. So this is the schedule for soccer, baseball, grades 1 to 3, and this is for teams 1, 2, and 3. It should have had, sorry, I had it inserted on the paper copies, but forgot to put here. So 8 o'clock on the first day on Tuesday is when we'll meet for our volunteer meeting. It's a little earlier that day because it's the first day and we're just kind of getting our bearings on where things are, and there'll be some extra instructions. But for the rest of the week, it'll be 8:15, okay? So 8 a.m. on Tuesday, but then 8:15 sharp for the rest of the week. Make sure that you're at the church, or sorry, not the church. Come to the church if you want, but we'll be at the park. We'll meet for our volunteer meeting. So at 8:45, that's when I've let the parents know you can start dropping off your kids. I've let them know that it's 8:30 on day 1. So on day 1, we meet a little earlier for our meeting, but then the parents know that they can start coming at 8:30 because it's going to take longer that first day when they're parking, they're checking in their kids, getting everyone settled. Oh, I thought I was going to be on this team, and oh, I want to be on that team with my friend. Just sorting through all those different situations. So check-in will start at 8:30 on day 1. It'll be 8:45 the rest of the week. That'll be the drop-off time. The first thing, when you hear the siren, you'll head to opening rally. All right, that'll be over on the far side of the field where I was showing. And then for soccer baseball, they're going to go at 9:20 to the craft pavilion. All right, so that's where they're going to head for their craft time. And then 9:45, sports session 1. And then it also says it'll say on your schedule kind of where you're supposed to go. Just a reminder where the field is. It's the far left field. Halftime rally is back over at the wagon. And then everyone has halftime snacks and huddle time. So I adjusted this time slightly, so this is not actually 25 minutes, it's 20 minutes. So halftime, you'll have your snack time, your huddle time at your team tree. So huddle time happens at your tree. Then there's another sports session for these kids. And then the closing rally is for everyone at 11:30. And then 11:55 or so, we aim to wrap up so that the teams can head back to your tree with your team and be there ready when the parents come, park, and then come to check out their kids. So huddle coaches, you're gonna have a clipboard. It'll have the names of all your kids, the parents' names, and you're gonna check them in. You're gonna make sure you check it out to the parent that's listed on that sheet, one of the people that's approved there. That's how you'll just stay there at your tree until all your kids are gone. And so that's how the check-in, check-out goes. So that is one example schedule, but there's obviously a different schedule for every set of teams. But they all have these same themes in it: sports times, craft times, the rally times, which are the same for everyone, and then the huddle times and snack times, which are the same for everyone. All right. So that's the schedule. Any questions about that? Awesome. Okay, let me just quickly just go over just a few little things I need to just mention about just working with kids and things that can just help make sure that they're safe and that we're safe. Just a few words about discipline and physical touch. Okay, so there's appropriate contact that you can have with the kids. So obviously, if the kids are just doing awesome and they're crushing it, or maybe they're struggling, but they're doing their best, giving them high fives, a gentle little pat on the back. Way to go, you did a good job. Bending down to their eye level and just saying, wow, you are doing such a good job. I am so proud of you. Okay, those encouraging things where we're speaking kindly and we're listening well, do those lots. Okay, if you're with the little JK and SK kids, they may want to hold your hand as you're walking to the sport time, and that's okay. If you're just holding their hand and walking to their next sport, going to an activity, that is okay. If they're crying and they're really upset, a gentle hand on their back or shoulder to comfort them is totally okay. But we do not want to be doing things like wrestling with the kids, giving them piggyback rides, having kids sit on your lap. That's an important one to take note of. Don't have, they may want to just crawl up on your lap, but we're asking that you don't do that. Just say, let's just have a seat right here, and I'm going to sit right here beside you, while we figure out what's going on. All right, so do have appropriate contact, the high fives, the encouraging words, coming down to their eye level, a gentle pat on the back, but do not wrestle with the kids. Hey, I could totally one-up you. Let's go. No. We got to use wisdom and be really careful. So those things, piggyback rides, kids sitting on your lap, don't do that. So do be caring, be loving, but be careful is how I would sum it up. So you may have moments where a kid he's just really upset, or she's upset, they're throwing a fit, they're losing it. So I really encourage you, remain calm, come down to their eye level, use a calm voice to redirect their focus, talk through what's going on with them. So just, do your best to just talk, listen, care for them well. If it just can't be resolved, or it just seems like the situation is escalating, you can send one of your helpers to find me, or you can call or text me. Huddle coaches, I'll make sure you all, probably most of you have my cell number, SOS. Kevin, come to the soccer area right now. Like we need you, no problem. I've kind of planned this year so that I'm not leading the rallies myself. I'm just there to support and lead and just be a resource or help with challenging situations or whatever. So that will be my role, is just to be there as a support for you as volunteers. So you can reach out to me for help if you need it at any time. Never yell at a child or use physical contact to try to control him or her. Okay, so that's important. Now, obviously, if a kid is physically harming someone else, then you may need to intervene gently but firmly to make sure that someone, a child isn't getting hurt by another. But just do what you need to do to separate the kids, and but not take it further than just calming that situation. If a child does get physically hurt, I mentioned that huddle coaches, we've given you some little Band-Aids and stuff that'll be in your drawstring bag. But then of course our first aid attendants are going to be there at the first aid tent. If you can't send your child with a helper to see them, then have the helper run and get them to come. And you can always, if it's an emergency, you can send a note to me too, and I'll make sure that help gets there as soon as possible. If a child comes to you and says that if a child says something that makes you feel that they are being hurt in some way, okay, either at home or outside of our VBS or at the VBS, okay, so this is really important. If you're a team or sport coach helper, so younger students, if there's something younger students and helpers that you feel is going on and you're worried about it, go and talk to your older coach, okay, the adult coach, and tell them what's been going on and what's been said to you. Team leaders and sport coaches, listen lovingly to what a child says, and then come and talk to me when you have a chance. So if there's any next steps we need to take to help make sure that that child is safe in maybe a context outside of home, outside of the sports camp, if there's something going on that we need to follow up on, then we'll take those steps. So never yell at a child, never use physical contact to try to control him or her. And then I mentioned the procedures for sign out, so waiting at the tree for the parents to park and come and get their kids. So that is just the kind of the key little things I wanted to zero in on when it comes to the flow of the day, what's happening. I do want to just I'm going to throw actually the volunteer schedule up on the screen here, or the list of volunteers, so you can kind of see who is who, so and who's in what roles. So I'm just going to kind of zip over this. So we've got our registration team on the first day, Michelle, Bev, Dana. We've got those who will be welcoming and unloading cars. So that'll be our craft team folks, as well as Mitch and some of these helpers from the registration team. Setup and tear down team, I've got Bill Somerville, Wayne Wallace, David Noel helping me in that role. Security perimeter monitors, I've got David, Wayne, Dave DeMello, Bill Somerville when available. Once again, come and talk to me later if you're like, oh, I had no idea that I was doing that. My apologies. I'll just come and chat with me more if you need more clarity. Our rally coaches are Emma and Sloan. And Pastor Troy, is he here? He's going to be our mega. So in the past couple of years, we haven't actually had Mega as a part of our sessions, but Mega is a character that is actually written into many of the rallies, and I've kind of not used him in the past, but Mega comes and shows up and doesn't talk, but that's key. He doesn't talk, but he is there. He has a special mask that he wears, and he's kind of, like our Mega Sports Camp mascot for the week. So Troy is very excited and pumped to step into the Mega role. So be watching for him. So here's our huddle coaches. So huddle coaches, this is the team that you are leading. So team 1 is Jennifer, 1 to 3 soccer baseball. Team 2, Stephanie Browers. Team 3, Tracy Somerville. So you are all soccer baseball grade 1 to 3, team numbers 1, 2, and 3. So on the first day, let's go soccer baseball. So you'll be looking for your teams 1, 2, and 3 trees on the first day. So Jennifer, watch for your team 1 tree, and that'll be your home base for the week. Teams 4, 5, and 6 are also soccer baseball, but it's grade 3 to 5. So we've got Jenna Welch, Amy McKee, and Freya Bartolin. So those are our teams 4, 5, and 6 coaches. And then team 7 is grade 1 to 3 cheer and multi-sport. So we've got Ashlyn doing the grade 1 to 3 team, and then Mercy as the head coach of the grade 3 to 5 team. And then Carolyn Kennedy, you are our head coach for our JKSK Sport Mixed team. All right, and so Sport Mix is just basically, they do a mixture of just fun activities, sports, and different things that have been planned out to be just age appropriate and just right for them. So the Sport Mix coach, Steve Barry, is going to be giving leadership to that time. So for Carolyn and then for Connie Lubbers on Team 10, you two will be together going to those Sport Mix times with Steve. All right, I've also got listed here our Huddle Coach helpers. So students, this is the team that you are going to be helping with. So Caitlin, Team 1, Asher and Natalie, Team 2, Jillian, Team 3, Olivia Frawley, Team 4, Alexis, 5, Kale Faulkner, Team 6, Natalia Kelly, Team 7, Kate, Team 8, and there's actually 1 or 2 other names being added here. You remember that I mentioned that there will be some extra helpers on these teams to help with washroom visits. So this isn't the most up-to-date list, but there will be another helper as well on all of these teams 7 through 10. And then Mackenzie and Zach, I've got you on Team 9, and then Claire and Eliana are together on Team 10. All right, we got our soccer coaches, Evan Freer, Rodney Hamilton, Tuesday and Friday, and then Analo, you're going to be helping with coaching soccer. And then there's some soccer coach helpers, Easton, Jackson, and Brett are going to be helping as helpers with soccer. Our baseball coaches are McKinley Aiden and Daryl Barodi. I'm hoping to add 1 more there still as well. Then we've got our sport coach helpers, Seamus and River. Mitch Mueller is not here today, but he's our multi-sport coach. And so Mitch will not be here on the Tuesday, but we planned out the schedule so that on the Tuesday, cheer multi-sport coaches, you're going to be going to either soccer or baseball. And the soccer baseball coaches will be leading on those days, on that Tuesday. So Mitch is available starting Wednesday, and then he'll be giving leadership and coaching to your sports on those days. And on your schedule, cheer multi-sport coaches, it'll say where you're supposed to go every day, so don't worry about that. Our cheer coaches are Dana Mueller and Corinne Faulkner. Our sport mix coach is Steve Barry with Thomas and Solomon giving him a hand out. We've got our snack and craft coaches, Paula, Shirley, Pam Chmielewski, Bev, Barb, and Sandra. Here's our washroom team, and actually these ladies, I'm hoping that you might be able to help as well a little bit with some of the parking and helping to welcome kids and as they're arriving in the morning. So for teams 1, 2, and 3, I've got Joanne and Anne Marie. And for teams 4, 5, and 6, I've got Dorothy, Dill, and Lori Freer. And then our first aid coaches, I mentioned them before. And then we've got some extra helpers. So Anne and Tara are only available for certain days in the week. And so huddle coaches, if you're finding, man, like I am just tapped out, like I'm struggling there's a child or two that just really needs some extra love and care, Tara and Anne are going to be extra helpers that I'll maybe just plug into certain teams if just you could really just use an extra bit of help there. So that'll be their role. And then closing day barbecue, Rick Sove, Sandra, some members of the craft snack team if you're available that day. One thing I should mention is that on day 4, so there's only going to be crafts on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. On Friday, we're going to do some water games and water activities. So instead of craft, they're going to go and do some things that are fun. They're going to get a bit wet, and it's going to be amazing. And so on that day, on that final day, you won't go to craft time. You'll go to that water area, which is right above those tents on the map in the middle of the field. And then here's what your snacks will be. So I've got the snacks listed here: applesauce packs, bags of cookies with a gluten-free option, frozen yogurt tubes with another with a dairy-free option, and then fruit snack packages for Friday. So that's the overview. I've gone longer than I expected. I'm just going to stop there and just take any questions you have, and then I'll give some final words of instruction. Questions, go.
What about t-shirts with Megasport?
Yeah, so I've got, before you all leave today, I've got a table back there full of t-shirts, and they are small, medium, large, extra large, and double XL. So before you go, now do any of you still have your t-shirt from last year? Okay, so there may be some of you, because I know our t-shirt population is less than it was last year. So if you've got your shirt from last year, awesome, that's perfect. If you don't, then before you leave today, make sure you stop at the table and get yourself a shirt that is the right size for you.
Are they men's sizes?
They are, well, okay, are they men's sizes? I thought so. I ordered a whole bunch more shirts that are in adult men's sizes, but apparently those sizes don't seem to match up with some of the other shirts that we have. So just do a close check of it and make sure. And you can take either a Mega Sports Camp shirt or a Team Lakeshore shirt. Either is fine. All right. Okay, any other questions? Yes, Steve Berry.
On the map, did I miss where we're parking when we come?
Yeah, so I mentioned it a little earlier. When you come, you are not going to park in the, I clicked don't save. Hopefully that wasn't important.
It was just changed.
I think it was. Anyways, it's all good. So Steve, the parking area, I meant to go, you're gonna park at Lamrecton Park, so not, on the opposite side of the road. All right, so pull into Lamrecton. There's a coffee truck there. I need a coffee. Anyone feel that they need a coffee? Well, I need a coffee is there, and you can always grab yourself a coffee. I'm sure she'd be happy to have our business. And at the end of the morning, if you want to grab some fries, the fry truck is there too. So, any other questions?
Is it a rain or shine?
It is not rain or shine. So because we are outdoors the whole time, and when the field is wet, that's not safe. Kids can slip and fall and injure themselves. So unfortunately, we won't be able to run it if there's a bunch of rain forecast. So I let the parents know that every morning, no, not every morning. If it's clear that it's a fine day, no worries. But if there's any uncertainty in terms of the forecast, I'll send an email out that morning. I let them know that between 7 and 7:30, they'll receive an email from me if sports camp is canceled. So that'll go to everybody. Hey, due to it's pouring, it's thunder showers all morning. Unfortunately, we won't be meeting today. So, God's been good. We haven't had to cancel yet in the years that I've been here so far. So we're praying that for our 3-hour windows, we'll get great weather. But if there's some uncertainty, check your email that morning or send me a text if you haven't heard from me and you're not sure. Good question. Other questions? Right there, Dave DeMello.
I thought you said the parents would park on the north side of the road and walk with the kids across the road.
No, I did not. So volunteers are going to park at Lamrecton and walk across first thing in the morning, but the parents are going to come into the Lakeshore Park parking lot. They're going to come right into the parking lot. On the first day, they'll park and just walk over to the craft pavilion where they'll check in, and then they'll leave. And then the rest of the week, they'll enter that parking lot and we're going to have a loop set up so that they can just come around, drop off their kids, and then drive right out. Yep. So parking will be just the same way like we've done it here before. Yes, Dorothy?
Okay, 8 o'clock, is that where we find out where we're positioned?
Well, so for you, Dorothy, you're the bathroom coach for teams. Wait, is that the one that I deleted?
Yes.
Wait, did I really delete that? I know I had it saved. Anyways, I think you were with Lori, weren't you? Team 5. So team 4, 5, and 6. You'll just go to them where their team trees are in the morning. You'll see, there's tree 4, there's 5 and 6, and you'll just say, hey, just connect with the huddle coaches. Hey, I'm your washroom team leader, so if you need any kids to go to the washroom, I'm here for you. So just make a connection with those huddle coaches, and then you just basically hang out with them for the morning. So you'll follow them to their sport times. Feel free to bring a chair. I want to just mention, if you'd like to have a lawn chair for yourself to sit at your tree, maybe you want to bring a blanket, just some things to make it kind of fun and comfortable for your kids. Huddle coaches, think about that. Sometimes I know often coaches will bring like a wagon along, so you can put some of your stuff in it, and their kids' water bottles, like things like that. So you may want to have a little wagon that you bring, a blanket for your area, a chair for yourself, those kinds of things. So, plan ahead to just help, to have some comfort or some comfort in your morning as well, and those extra things that'll help you. Carolyn?
Well, you kind of just, I was going to ask, kids are going to be bringing stuff, right? So I don't know if you've told the parents, like, give them a backpack or whatever. I just wondered about keeping track of that stuff, but bringing a wagon or something like that would help. The other thing I wondered about is, if kids bring sunscreen and they ask you to put it on them, is that a no-no?
Well, hopefully they'll have like spray on,
Well, that's what I'm hoping, but
Yeah. I would say just have the kid, like, you could just put it on their arm and they could just have them do it themselves. I mean, it's probably not a really big deal to just put some suntan lotion on their arm for them, I don't think. So, yeah, I'd say that's probably fine. Yeah. Sorry, and your first question was about, I've told the parents, so like don't bring your own baseball bats. Do bring a ball glove for the baseball kids. I've let them know that we're providing the snacks, so they should just come with their hats and a water bottle. They shouldn't have a whole, backpack full of stuff. But if they do, then, probably most of it you'll just keep at your team tree. And don't feel you have to haul everything everywhere. You don't want to be having to carry everything if it's not important things. Now, if there are kids with any medical conditions or, medication things, we'll make sure those are noted on your check-in sheet, which you'll receive on the first morning. So Tuesday morning, you'll get your team list with all the information about all the kids. And if there's any special situations with food allergies, medical things that you need to be aware of, we'll alert you to that, okay? Any other questions? I'm gonna wrap it up there. If there's something I didn't mention you want to talk to me about, come and let me know. Let me just say, there are a few people I need to stick around or just come and see me afterwards. And that's regarding paperwork. So some of you, I still need either a volunteer form or a record check completed. And so I'm gonna have you grab those. So if your name is up here, I need something from you, either a volunteer form and or a record check completed. So Wayne, Lori, I think I've connected with Lori already. I think I sent you some stuff. Rodney, Carolyn Kennedy, Connie, Barb, Bill, Wayne Wallace. So just need to get some paperwork. So I've got all the forms here. Huddle coaches, I have the Huddle Coach guides here for you. So make sure, Huddle coaches, that you grab one of those before you go. If you are a youth volunteer and you have not filled out one of the youth volunteer application forms, please come and grab one of those now before you leave, and so that you can fill that out and bring it back completed by next Sunday. That's really important that I get that for you to be a volunteer. And yeah, so for adults, I've got your forms here that you need if you're on that list. So any final questions? Otherwise, I'm going to pray and we're going to head out. You've been so awesome. Thank you. I hope this made a little bit of sense, but hopefully this will help us get off to a great start. And the next time I will see you will be next Tuesday at 8 a.m. at the Craft Pavilion. So you'll park at Lamrecton, walk over, and we'll meet at 8 o'clock next Tuesday morning. And don't forget your shirt before you go. Sound good?
What time do you want the setup people on Tuesday morning?
I'll follow up with the setup crew between now and then. Yeah, probably around 7, like an hour before. Yeah. All right, let me just pray for us. Thanks, God, so much for these volunteers. Bless them as they go, and thank you so much that we get to be on mission with you, Jesus. Be honored. And I just pray for every child that's going to come to Mega Sports Camp, that you'd be at work in their hearts now, preparing them for the good seed of the gospel that is going to get spread into their lives, and help us to just do our best in helping to water those seeds. And we pray, see some seeds get harvested. In Jesus' name, amen. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, how are you? Good. Glad you're volunteering.
Well, I am still
But I'll probably have you as a helper in one of those, you know how I mentioned there.
I've got my
profit on it. I've got mine from like
I still gotta talk to Kevin before he takes off.
I was trying to think what they said when I did it. I can't remember.
Thanks for filling us out. Yeah. Yeah, she emailed it to me. I got it. I'm good. Yeah. I'm gonna send her this info. I'm gonna just send. I was gonna do a video, but it's too long. So I'm gonna send us a file with all the info that she got. Under me. Wow. Cool. Okay, cool. It's all good. Yeah, I'll send her the info. Okay, thanks, Gail. Yeah, yeah.